All right, hey folks, what's going on? Got on a little bit early, and I thought I'd pull out an old. Hadn't used that in about a good year. That old intro I had from way back when. So anyway, hey folks, what's going on? Hello, hello. Let's see, Turquoise and Sasquatch, Wendy Wilson, Miss Wendy, Rothian, Sue, Ashwell, Sugar Britches, Deer Slayer. Let's see who else is in here. Ray's in here. Let's see. James, Tina MM, and a host of others, it looks like. Tracy. Holy cow. So tonight we're going to be talking about CERN. CERN. The Large Hadron Collider. That's what we'll be talking about tonight. We've got open lines, 931-994-6917. AJK, Donnie Cho, what's going on? And the rest of you, Silent Rain. Let's see. Yeah, we got 4 more minutes. Thought, I figured that since the average price of a gallon of gasoline was over $5 a gallon now nationwide. Hey, if you don't like the hat, that's about it. That's all I can tell you. And Callus, hey Sue, what is up with you? Well. So you ready for this CERN business we're about ready to get into? We'll have to say a prayer here in a little bit. Been all kinds of crazy stuff going on. Holy moly. And Sue Ashwell, good day to you down under. Little dog, big heart, howdy. Let's see, we've got 21 people in here. Please like, share, and subscribe. Share it out to all you socials, all your socials out there. Dark Woods, buddy. Good to see you. Let's find. Well, let's get our prayer out of the way, and then we'll go over the history of CERN, and then we'll then go down the catwalk with all the crap that's out there. Hard to say what's out there. Give me just a second to pull up the prayer here. All right. I humbly ask the Lord Jesus Christ and our Heavenly Mother Mary that if it be in accordance with your holy will, that all curses, evil, demonic involvement, and or attacks being sent against us be blocked and be sent back from whence it came. Father, if you would, please send your angels of mercy and healing and aid those that are hurting body, mind, and spirit. I know several people have asked me to pray for them in the last weeks and months. Dear God, be with them. Be with every one of those folks, and be with the ones that just need help. In Jesus Christ's name, amen. All righty, folks. Now we're cooking with Crisco. Hello. Let's see. Anybody else in here that I hadn't seen? Yeah. All right. We got 23 people in here. Fantastic. Great. Chica, what is going on? Hadn't seen you in a hot minute. And let's pull this up. Well, we got about 2 more minutes. We'll get on with the show here in just a minute. Just say hello, get some people in here. So what's going on with you? It's hot enough. It is currently 81 degrees Fahrenheit here in my backyard. I have been stuck in my, I've been kind of spoiled. I've been on my back porch for the last few weeks, enjoying the cool weather, and it got so hot, blasted hot and humid, I just couldn't stand it out there anymore. So, wow, that's all I can tell you. So I picked the only room that is air conditioned in my big old house here, and turned the air conditioning on, turned the fans on, which I had to turn the fans off, and then put the thing on the Econo, and there we go. Catalyst says it's 85 down in Florida. Patrick M. Hey, you are very welcome, Patrick. And anytime that, I have, if you have not seen my community post, I have started like a little prayer thing. If you want to, I'm not asking, if you want to be on that prayer chain, we can put that prayer chain out whenever it becomes available, and we'll get her out there. Now, if you want to be private, that's absolutely fine too. So anyway, folks, wow. So I would like to thank Holly, and if Holly's in the chat, let me see if Holly's in the chat. Give me just a second. She actually, where is she? She's not in the chat. Yeah, there she is. Holly actually suggested this in the community post this morning, and I was like, well, I haven't went down that one in a while. Went down that little cubby hole in quite a while. So here we are. We're doing this at the request of Holly with CERN. Now, we're going to go down a whole lot of crazy stuff here in a little bit. I appreciate every one of you. I appreciate everyone that has wound up and said a prayer for me and my family. God bless each and every one of you. A prayer can move mountains. And Donnie Cho says, I'm concerned about CERN. Well, you should be. They're actually, I'll get into it here in a little bit, they're talking about $100 billion not upgrade. They just went through a 3-year upgrade on the one over in Geneva. But they're talking about $100 billion, I think, 60-mile circumference of a bigger brother. We'll see. All right. Well, 1 minute into, let's go ahead and get this thing going. I have rambled enough. And if you want to be a part of the broadcast, sure, you can. I probably can sit here and talk about just about anything and everything for the next hour, 2 hours, whatever. Go ahead and drop a link in the chat. If you want to be a part of the show, you can go in there, or you can call the number 931-994-6917, whichever one you want to do. That's fine with me. And let me get this ticker ready there. There you go. Back to the comments here. And if you do not mind, I hadn't done this in a while. Why not? It is not free to do this here show. And for the folks that are out there that want to donate, tip the show, all proceeds go to the functionality of the show. Keeping the show on the air. So I've got a Cash App and a PayPal me, and it's down in the description if you'd like to do that. If not, that's fine and dandy. Just hit a thumbs up and share the hell out of the show. That costs nothing. All right, folks, here we go. Oh, wait a minute. I saw Are You Kidding Me is in the house. Hey, what is going on? So let's get the first of a few things going on here. All right, so you wonder what the Large Hadron Collider, CERN, is all about. Here's a few unanswered questions. The LHC, Large Hadron Collider, was built to help scientists to answer key unsolved questions in particle physics. The unpredicted energy it achieves may even reveal some unexpected results that no one has ever thought of. Well, there you go. For the first few decades, physicists have been able to describe with increasing detail that the fundamental particles that make up the universe and the interaction between them. This understanding is encapsulated in the standard model of the particle physics, but it contains gaps and cannot tell us the whole story. To fill the missing knowledge requires experimental data, and that the next big step to achieving this is the LHC. Newton's unfinished business. What is mass? What is the origin of mass? Why do tiny particles weigh the amount they do? Why some particles have no mass at all? At present, there are no established answers to these questions. The most likely explanation may be from the Higgs boson, which we just found that particle back just a few years ago. And Stephen Hawking actually made a comment about that. Let's see. Key undiscovered particle that is essential to the standard model to work. First, hypothesized hypothesized in 1964 is yet to be observed. Yes, it has been observed now. It's been observed back in a few years ago anyway. When was this article created anyway? Let's see. Does not say right off the top of the header there. All right. Anyway, so big thing is they come out and said, hey, we need this multi-billion-dollar big circle of interesting magnetism, and we want to. Let's jump to the fun stuff. I want to jump to the fun stuff. Well, where is it? Switzerland. The oddest moment, Switzerland Tunnel, the Gothard Tunnel opening ceremony. If you've not seen this, if you haven't seen this, prepare yourselves. Now, there is a little bit of nudity in this, so just this is a PG-13, but this is off of BBC, just to let you know, and this is rated not for kids. So if you're a kid, get out. So Lakea's in here. Who's in here? Hey, Big Cole. Thanks for calling me earlier, buddy. Appreciate that. Primal Cry's in here. Blue Moon Sense. Hey, sis, what is going on with you, Julie? Hope you're feeling better. And that's about it. All right, so let's see. Here we go. Hey, that changes. That's cool. Switzerland Tunnel to the oddest moments of the opening ceremony. Now, this is the opening to the Gothard Tunnel, part of the Hadron Collider, Large Hadron Collider, Super Hadron Collider. So, you tell me. We're not sure what this is on top of this guy's head, according to the BBC and AP News. From the World Cup to the Olympics, it's not significant, even if you don't have an unusual opening ceremony to go with it. And you got like 600. The one comment I saw, I don't know if it's in this particular article, but who signed off on this freaking opening ceremony? Don't know. We'll see. Warning, this article contains partial nudity. So just a heads up, cover your eyes. Let's see. Casual conversation with G&A. Hey, let's see. Did you cover this? Casual conversations? I don't know if you did or not. I know you do a lot of edgy stuff, so who knows. So anyway, we've got all of this. 600 actors, I think, was in this. I don't know what this dude's about. The middle of this is an actor sat down, looked rather underwhelmed by everything, and ate his lunch. Okay. Then you got a partially nude angel. And it says a topless woman decked out as a bird hovered above actors, representing the 9 construction workers who died during the building of the tunnel. Okay. More of that, and you got all these people that parts of the show proved very popular. That some of these were audience, however, so we'll see. Then you got, why is there a dead lamb? According to David Willey. Over on, I think that, yeah, this is Twitter. So, why would you have something like that, folks? A dead lamb. Is that like a punch in the eye to Christianity, or what is that? Don't know. God cover my virgin eyes. Yeah. Well, there you go. Some viewers were left baffled, as perhaps were some participants. So why are all these people doing these things? At one point, there were lots of people rolling around in white underwear. All right. So, ibex. I don't know about you, but that kind of looks like a devil to me. That's just me. There are plenty of old religions, spiritualities, and ceremonies that are not evil in nature. Sadly, Christianity has demonized a lot of the non-Christian rituals. Well, Rothian, I'd hate to tell you this, but they are in the midst of, why would they pick an old religion to open up a tunnel? Why not, you know, a lot of those people that are in that freaking thing's probably Catholic, at least. Little Big Dog says, looks like pagan. Yep. So, if they're going to adopt a particular religion, why? Here's the one thing. Why go through this whole entire spiel? How many times have you went to a big frickin' opening of a new building or a new tunnel, and you walk up and they hand you a big ass, frickin' set of scissors about yay big, bigger than you are. 3 or 4 people get together and grab a hold of the scissor handles and cut the ribbon. Why didn't they do that? Or why didn't they just take a big can, do a 21 gun salute to open it? That would have been easy. Why not do that? Or pay homage to, some of the big scientists that they're basing this theory off of. Einstein. Why not, do a big mural to Einstein? Why not that? But yeah, sure. So I'm just saying this is a whole lot more than 600 actors reportedly took part in the ceremony, and experience they are unlikely to forget anytime soon. Well, I'm not letting you forget it right now. So anyway, let's see. There's a whole lot. If you look up Gothard Tunnel opening ceremonies, it's on YouTube. It's about 6 minutes and 33 seconds. I'm sure it was a lot longer. Back on June 1st, 2016. So if you want to go look that up, go for it. Bizarre stage show opens Gothard rail tunnel to Switzerland. All that kinds of crazy stuff. And let's see. I'd go down here. Okay, so we just put out, or I just talked about the God particle, the Higgs boson kind of stuff. Honestly, they're getting close to some paranormal realms and some. Well, I'm going to talk about a little bit about that, Rothian. It's just observation, and it's my personal observation based off of my near-death experience, but I'll get into that. So Stephen Hawking warns God particle could kill all of us if science gets enough funding. And it's in his foreword in his new book, Starmus, 5 Years of Man in Space, Stephen Hawking warns that the Higgs boson particle, also called the God particle, most because of monotheism discovered by CERN scientists in 2012, and thought it gave matter its mass, could destroy the universe, and we wouldn't see it coming. In an excerpt from his book forward, Hawking writes, the Higgs potential has a worrisome feature that it might become metastabile at energies above 100 billion giga-electron volts. Oh, hell, that's a pretty good size word. This could mean that the universe could undergo catastrophic vacuum decay and the bubble of the true vacuum expanding at the speed of light. This could happen at any time and wouldn't even see it coming. So, would it release a black hole? Is that what you're trying to explain? Hey, ABC, what's going on? So, you got any questions in here or any comments? Blues and G, hey, what's going on with you, buddy? Barbie, CERN has stated on their website that they're trying to open portals. They are not exactly, from what I understand. But, okay, hold on a second. Thank you, Catherine, for the $20 tip there. I appreciate that. Let's go down here. Jaw dropping. Okay. This is actually on Facebook, and we'll do this. So you tell me, once they turn this on, now I can't say anything other than this was supposedly above the CERN in Geneva when they did this. Let me turn this audio down. So this is above the CERN, supposedly. Yep, Donnie. Yeah, it is. It is. So you tell me, what is being formed right there? Blues is tearing up, and please check on the channel. It will put a smile on your face. Cool. So what was that? That didn't look anything like I would see over top of my house here in Southwest Virginia. I've never seen that kind of stuff. Now, scientists probably pop up there and say, well, that was just some sort of humidity consolidation or something like that based on whatever that was forming. Tiffany says, I thought it was made up, open up wormholes. It's interesting. That's all I can tell you. Let me turn this off. We've already seen that. Large Hadron Collider restarts after 3 years of upgrades, particle collisions at a world record energy levels. And apparently they are going to use... What the heck is that? Oh, okay. There we go. That was what was playing a while ago. Holy crap. Anyway, here's actually off of Futurism. Physicists, not another collider. There's actually a lot of folks that are out there that are in the science community, which, science is science, that they do not want its big brother built, the 16-mile high-energy particle collider in Switzerland outside of Geneva. They do not want this bigger brother built. Let's see. Says the Hadron Collider, LHC, success. Many scientists are now excited to build something bigger and better, and particle collider could end up being almost 4 times as large. So 100 miles in diameter, circumference. And they want to build something a little bit bigger. Let's see. Bass and I had a short conversation in chat over on Messenger, Facebook Messenger, and I said, I wonder if they built this thing in space yet. All that dark black money. I wonder if they built this, this is just me spitballing. I wonder if they built this in space yet. Or built, some sort of rendition of this. Don't know. Crazy as crazy does. But let's see. PhD physicist Tom Hartsfield concerned that the new essay for Big Think. Hartsfield argues that the massive particle accelerators simply aren't worth the colossal amount of money and effort, and that the funds should be spent elsewhere. And they're talking about going into, let's see, down here, Pennywise. Therefore, spending $100 billion, Hartsfield's own estimate, admittedly on the high end, new version of LHC could be a huge mistake. There are many known problems in physics right now. He argues $100 billion could fund, quite literally, 100,000 smaller physics experiments. Sure, absolutely, without a doubt. Throw $1 million at each one of them. That much money could even solve other big issues, he suggests, like fusion energy, which would probably be an immense net good for the world. CERN is early stages of developing the design for 62-mile future circular collider as we speak. Massive construction project estimated to be done by 2040. So, let's see, can I find, where was the, oh, here's another one, the logo, CERN. Apparently it is based off of this diagram. It's a stylized version of the kinds of maps used to trace particle collisions. Yeah, but why is it 3 6s though? Don't know. Well, hold on a second. Let me get this up here. Nice. We're talking about CERN. I got a quick question. Does anyone know why they put the Shiva statue out front of the building? It's a weird choice unless it means something to them. Don't know. That is another one. I had that up, but I think I lost the I think somebody actually said something about this fellow here that's in Franchot Pearson. Go look him up and watch some of his stuff. For sure. So, there you go. Be kind. Hey, what's going on with you? Let's see. So they've got all of this stuff, and here we go. Why do they pick? Here's my big thing. Why do they pick things that, obviously they, have a backstory to say, well, yeah, the CERN's got 666 on it. Yeah. All right. And poke a little hole in that story. Hello, be kind. Humanity is not scientifically proved or disproved consciousness. True. You can't argue, can't argue, are you alive or not? Are you sentient or not? And Shiva is known as a destroyer, so it would make sense why that statue's out there. Absolutely. Let me see if I can find that. Shiva. CERN. Let's go to images, and then we'll pick one out. Yep, right here it is. Right there in front of why does CERN have, well, we'll go here. Quora, usually, I'm not a big fan of Quora, but we'll see. Why did that pop up like that? Or is this in my article that I had up for CERN already? Yeah, possibly. Let's see. Oh, here's the statue. There we go. This is in front of the building of CERN. So why that? Okay, Rothian, what? Oh, since you are the resident non-Christian in the house there, why is Shiva in there? Jean Paul, what's going on, brother? Salute. Looks like he stepped away for just a momento. We'll ask that question of him here in a little bit. And let's see. Associate Hindu god Satanism. Well, Satanism is a bit of a stretch. Is it? Okay. Well, why, Donnie? Saying it's a bit of a stretch is like saying Volvo and Volkswagen are cars, and one's better than the other because they both have VO in them. I don't know. Just my thing there. Just making random statements saying, well, that's a stretch. But isn't Shiva a destroyer in Hinduism? Well, I am not a religious person whatsoever when it comes to that kind of stuff. Hey, Holly just retweeted my... Hey, that's cool. Holly just retweeted my show link. And also logo has 3 6s. Also around CERN's name. Yeah, well, they said that was the... and the goatee. No, I didn't shave today. So, anyway, appreciate that there, Holly. Thanks for sharing the show out over on Twitter. But, yeah. If you are over on Twitter or if you're over on the Facebook, I can't... let me see if I can find... Let me look at my Facebook real quick. I should have pulled this up before I went over there. And see. Pull this thing up. Hopefully it won't blare out and make it feedback here. Shawn. Oh, son of a gun. Nope, that's not it. I'm trying to get to the Facebook so I can see me live and see if there's anybody in there chatting away. Ah, yeah, there I am. Pull this up and then. All right, now I can see myself. Pull this over here. All right, now I can see myself. Turn this thing off. There we go. And nobody's over there on Facebook, so don't be good. Isn't Shiva also the destroyer of evil? Not exactly sure. But even though that is the weird ass statue to have in front of it. So why, big thing here is Holly says I don't use Twitter. That's all right. Big thing here is why pick such a weird ceremony? I know the world has a ton of different religions, period. I'm not going to argue that. From Hindu to Buddhism to Christianity to you name it, there are thousands. There are probably a few being made right now. So we'll see. But why pick that particular ceremony? That's that right there just drives me insane. Why would they pick that one ceremony to do that? Hold on just a second. Let me see if I can find. Where is this? Aha, the Switzerland tunnel. Pull this back up and then bring this out. Then share screen. Now I do this occasionally, and it looks like I'm behind the times a little bit. But there you go. Why do this ceremony? 600 people to do this strange thing and broadcast it. When was this freaking thing done? I think it was June 1st, 2016. That's strange. Strange date. But yeah, Switzerland Tunnel, oddest moments of the opening ceremony. So why, even the BBC supposedly way out there. Barbie says, I don't agree with tax money being used for statues. Okay, I agree with that. No problem whatsoever. No problem whatsoever with that. Paranormal Heart Podcast. What is going on with you, Cat? And I'm wearing my Trump hat from 2020 in homage to the $5 a gallon gasoline that we're all paying and seeing spread across the great nation of ours. So anyway, Switzerland in the tunnel ceremony. Why pick this particular weird ass frickin' ceremony to do this? Science. Well, how many people have went to openings of, hospitals, tunnels, train tunnels of all sorts out there? Why not? Be kind, have public delivery. Well, let's pull this up since Be Kind was nice enough to drop the link. We'll see it. I'll just say thanks for the link there. I'll pop it up here in just a second there. Why is there a statue of Shiva, the destroyer at CERN? There we go. And there is the interesting statue. And if you have been keeping up with the happenings of CERN, the world's most advanced scientific research facility, you might have noticed the statue of Shiva, the destroyer. Shiva is the cosmic dancer, symbolizes the natural flow of divine energy. He takes part in Rudra Tandava. I may have butchered the hell out of that name. A dance representing destruction and rebirth. To reshape time and space with his wild thunderstorms. This is destructive force can also be seen as a constructive by generating new life from death, represented by Shiva's skull crown, signifying conquest over evil. Okay. Let's see. Shiva's all Lassia dance, which is gentle and associated with the creating a world after the destruction, takes place in both one's heart, or the sky and the mind. Shiva also practices Tandavium. I'm not even gonna try that one anymore. Apologize because I messed that one up. My southern tongue can't speak this kind of stuff, but anyway. Or fierce dance at the location. So obviously they're looking to destroy and create. Okay, that sounds about right. But why do this fancy what the hell does that have to do with opening a freaking tongue? That headdress. Riddle me this. What does that headdress have to do with anything? Now, I've seen some wild stuff with ladies from the South wearing these big-ass hats, especially at the Kentucky Derby. And I can get that. Yeah. But a dude with tumbleweed on his head? Okay. So why have this, and why does this guy look like he's just evil incarnate? So that's my whole thing. The start of this is fishy. What they're doing at CERN, obviously the science behind it, to learn, break down particles and see what happens, what kind of consequential things they can come up with. So let's see. I gather that it was gifted to CERN Lab because it's India's long-standing support. Maybe. I don't know. But don't know. But why pick this one ceremony? That's the ceremony right there. They're in the middle of, I would dare say, a lot of Catholics live in this area. Christians, that kind of deal. So if it's science, why pick any religion whatsoever? Isn't science supposed to be absent of religion and just look for truth? Why pick something that has at its root have some sort of paganistic tone to it? You tell me that. Why pick something? Why didn't you just go buy 600 shovels, hand them to these actors, make it all gold? Probably cost them a hell of a lot less. And did the representative pitch the dirt into the air kind of deal? That's my theory on it. I've been rambling for 33 minutes. Feels like I've been rambling for 2 hours, but no, actually, it just feels like I just started, actually. So, and Dark Woods is in a mood. So, tell me that. So, if this is supposedly, without a doubt, science, why that? Why any ceremony whatsoever has to do with any kind of religious whatsoever? Now, that's my theory on it. They could have, if they wanted to do that, they could have done a whole gambit and pulled a little bit of, did a swath of religious ceremonies to bless the tunnel. Why not? If they were going to do the religious stuff, pulled a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I dare say there are a few people in there that have no idea what they're dancing to. They're just there for a paycheck. That's just me. Let's see. Wall Street Journal, dated. When was this sucker? Says maybe opening portals of hell from the Wall Street Journal. Here we go. Ah, man, I have to subscribe. I ain't subscribing for this. But it says Geneva, Europe, Organization of Nuclear Research, or CERN, is gearing up for another run at smashing particles together to unlock secrets of the universe. But of course, I'm not. I used to be a big headlines kind of guy. It's sort of like I was the epitome of who loved clickbait. I did at one time, and then I got to the point where I like, okay, it's clickbait, but what are all these different organizations talking about? So then, of course, Stephen Hawking comes out and says, hey, we may destroy our own selves looking for this Higgs boson, God particle. That Hallion does sound like, it does sound like clickbait. And it's the Wall Street Journal. So, Wall Street Journal, by my own calculations, my own history of trying to read their stuff, is clickbait central. More so than anybody else. Science and the occult have been linked for millennia, according to ABC. Sure. But if it's truly science, isn't it supposed to be absent of religion? Or is religion just trying to prove what God has done? Does anyone else remember reading years ago that CERN wanted to open portals? I remember reading this, and now I can't find it. Actually, yeah. Hold on just a second. I was actually researching that earlier. Let's see if I can find that. Where is that? Physicist. Actually, thank God I've got the. Let's see, copy link, and I'll stick it over here and do the Shiva stuff. I actually found this thread over on Twitter. Conspiracy thread, did the world end in 2012? Of course, once you get down here, get into the whole what the hell happened in 2012. The end of the Mayan calendar was in 2012, supposedly, if it was calculated out right. So I want to talk about this subject, according to Nick Hinton, which I'll drop here the link I'm just using, and I will try to remember to put all the links that I've been using, and then some, what I've got in the browser right now, in the description here. Again, Catherine, I appreciate the tip donation through PayPal. Appreciate that. That helps out greatly. I'll pay part of the internet bill for sure. But let me drop this in the chat here. This is the current one. What we're looking at is Nick Hinton's Twitter feed from, I think, 2016, Pretty sure. 2019, excuse me, July 25th, 2019. Strangest part is I cannot find anything online anymore. It says, I want to talk about this subject a while now. The other day I had a random urge to look at it again and read some old stuff, just for fun. Ever since then, I've noticed that people are talking about it again, which is conspiracy theories about the Hadron Collider. Let's see. Like I said, you find that people talking about it casually or joking about it, but I cannot find any depth of the material I had read before. It's frustrating because I found a few things here that were helping me piece the puzzle together again. And what was the puzzle? Let's see. So, did the world end in 2012? And apparently, there's old Stephen Hawking right there. And, well, it was the year scientists at CERN finally found the Higgs boson. The particle Stephen Hawking predicted could destroy the universe, or in his own words, cause the universe to undergo a catastrophic vacuum decay. Well, that would happen if you destroy the universe, would we know? Maybe CERN accidentally created a black hole and sucked us in without us even knowing. Well, there you go. Where's Donnie at? Donnie Cho. What's your spin on that one? That's interesting. Are we inside of a black hole? It's interesting, to say the least. Well, let's see if I can find. Oh yeah, Nelson Mandela. There's another one. A lot of people started. Mandela effect has been around since Nelson Mandela supposedly died in 2013. Yeah, he did die in 2013. Anybody remember him ever passing away before his 2013 death? I have. I have a distinct recollection of that, without a doubt. So good. Let me do this active thing here. Okay. But if you want to call in 931-994-6917, let me drop the link in here for the show. Share, stop sharing the screen so I can get to the invite copy. If you want to be a part of the show, you can either call in or hit this link. I know this is a lot of conspiracy stuff. Primal Cry, yeah, there you go. Show the CERN asshats my God particle. All right, there you go. And then Donnie. I called you Johnny for a second. I apologize. If the energy vacuum theoretically spread at the speed of light, it wouldn't destroy the universe. The universe expansion would eventually become too fast. That is a presumption that it is constant, that the speed of light's constant, and they proved that the speed of light is not constant. So, and can you travel faster than the speed of light? AKA warp drive. There's all kinds of different little things that you can come up with, and little spins. You assume one thing, and it's definitely not what you assume. That's for sure. Michael Leeper, howdy, buddy. Appreciate that. John, what's up going on, buddy? So, Donnie, that's assuming that speed of light is not increasing. Is it constant? Our little minds, the biggest mind that come up with the what the speed of light is he right or wrong, or she right or wrong? Let's see. It says God stopped us one time before by put us all over the world. Yeah, definitely. Believe this is the case. What is this? Okay, and just me telling what I've been told, the Shiva statue is meant to remind her to the higher ups that we can destroy the backwards, reductive and fear-based thinking. Again, what other side said. Okay, that's according to Rothian. There you go. And my co-host for Southern Supernatural, Daniel Diva Borzan, is in the chat. We've had a lot of good conversation here, Danielle, lately. I appreciate it. Know what would be crazy if they would look terrifying, but are really allergic? Fear not. What are you talking about, Barbie? Or did you wind up with, are you responding to somebody? That's an interesting comment there. So, is everything that we're seeing out there constant? Or, I can honestly tell you, we have absolutely not seen or thought of even a fraction of a percentile of what's out there. Heck, we don't even know what's coming out of the sun. Now, there's a lot of people out here. Julie, my friend Blue Moon in the chat, if she's still in there, and I not on a daily basis, but on a rather weekly basis, we'll get headaches, and then we'll say, "Hey, is the sun acting up?" And then we'll just jump in, and I've got a app that shows me in real time if there is a CME happening and what level of CME is happening. And 90% of the time, if I've got a pretty good damn headache, we had a M class or better, maybe a C class, I would say, better seeing me happening. So, and it does affect theirs without a doubt. And ABC says, I met an angel still recovering. Really? Define angel. There, ABC. Did I post the chat link? I can't see if I did. Let me post it. I apologize. I think it did. Let me post it one more time. Yeah, I did. That's a great app. I use it too. What? Hold on just a second. Let me see what that app is. Bet you don't have the app. Well, maybe you do. I don't know. We'll see. It's actually Disaster Predictions app. It says space weather images, and actually, this is what it looks like right here. And we're in C class level. Yeah, C class. There was a big M class probably 2 days ago. Big long one too. Long lasting one. Big old hunk come off. So let's see. Then what was that? I saw something interesting, and I need to click on that. Yes, indeed, Ray. The headaches do suck. But I just saw something I wanted. Oh, here we go. AJK. The sun is in the upswing for radio propagation. Oh yeah. Radio propagation. I was introduced to that when I was a kid. My dad was a big CB band radio enthusiast. Yeah, that's how I learned how to do electronics. Put them together, fix them. And then got into doing computers. That's a crazy thing. You learn how to work on a tube type radio from your dad, and learn about radio propagation at the actually at sunrise and sunset, dusk. Amazing. You can reach almost across the United States on the citizen band radio. Yep, sideband CB, absolutely. And then Callus Sue says, strange thunder and lightning coming seemingly out of nowhere. We're just now here at M6 house. No rain. Last night, actually, strangest thing, no prediction of any kind of weather whatsoever. And it did rain a little bit later. And I actually went and checked on several different weather apps. Said, no, you got about a 10% chance. And I saw thunder and lightning out coming from Kentucky into Virginia. Out my bathroom window. I was like, oh, holy cow. Sure enough. Let's see. Barbie says, take gas price inflation right now. Has to happen. Big fourth people's impurities, fraud, bribes, legal. Your opinion. Yep, absolutely. That's one of the reasons why I'm wearing this Trump hat. Actually, one of the... Oh, shit, I see my hat now. My brother, my late brother, God rest his soul, Travis, he left me a bunch of hats. And I was going to wear the Nike hat, which was his. That's one of the reasons why I wear that Nike hat a lot. Yeah. It's not to cover up my bald head, or balding head. I've got a full head of hair. But in homage to the $5 plus average price of gasoline across the United States, and up in Canada is way above $5 a gallon, by the by, and other places across the world. I think Sue Ashwell and I discussed that they're like $6 a gallon plus over in Australia. I'm like, holy cow. You have to pay the FCC $35 now. Well, that's interesting. So, back on the bandwagon of CERN. We got off the CERN thing. Share screen. Go back to CERN. Where is it? Is this it? Yeah, Nick Hinton. So, Mandela effect. Now, they kind of loosely put together the Mandela effect with the CERN opening in 2012, or the Higgs boson stuff. Let's see. Let me find. I went through here and just loosely went through this guy's Nick Hinton's Twitter feed and found all kinds of interesting things and a lot of stuff that I read about back in the day. There was an old cliche argument that nothing has felt right since 2012. There you go. Since 2012, for the folks that remember 2012 in great detail, which I do. 2012, has it felt different? I remember leading up to 2012, you had the 2012 movie with that star-studded performances and stuff, with the Earth literally just ripping its crust apart, based off the Mayan calendar End of the World 2012. Has the world felt different since 2012? And let's see. Anything else in here? Oh, here we go. Since we're just jumping into the Mandela effect a little bit, I just went down to who remembers Berenstain or Berenstein bears. Since I'm loosely linking the Hadron Collider, the super large Hadron Collider. I don't know why they put super in there. Large sounds pretty good since it's 16 miles in circumference. So, 2012. Good old days, no one would have believed we'd be right here, right now, according to ABC. Yep. Pool chemicals are ridiculous this year. Oh, man, yeah. Everything that has to do with life is at the point. I think I saw somewhere that they're predicting eggs will be $12 a dozen in the future. And yeah, $12 a dozen. Why? There was another thing that I saw earlier today. I think 100,000 head of beef cattle were killed by quote unquote heat. 100,000 head of cattle. Heat. Riddle me this. How do you kill 100,000 head of cattle? Somebody goofed up big time, in my opinion. I don't know what a head of cattle goes for these days, but I would dare say the price is shot straight sky high. Let me see if I can find that article. Actually, it's on Instagram. Let me pull this up on Instagram. Why the hell not? Okay, here we go. Get this going here. And paste and go here. Hello, you're supposed to. I got a fairly good connection. 100,000. David Harris Jr. has been reported 100,000, thousands, not 100,000, thousands of cattle have died in Kansas from apparent heat wave. Thoughts? And of course, and Coffee Anderson said that heat will not kill that many animals. And then, of course, you got the big P word there. Don't let them get rid of Hawaii's free-range pigs. I think we'll be going after the whatever. Let's see. Point to revamped Hadron nature. I'll get that one. Hold on just a second there. Be kind. Nope. I actually have to get this off of the website. Give me just a second. Thank you for posting that, Be Kind. Let me go ahead and get in here. Is this actually showing on... Well, son of a gun. Stop sharing. Yeah, stop sharing. Windows StreamYard. That's what I'm looking for. All right. Killing of all our food supplies. Well, there's been chicken farms caught on fire, destroyed. Awful to see. Yeah, a little big dog. Well, thousands of heads of cattle are quote unquote dead because of heat stroke or heat. I'm sorry, but unfortunately, I don't believe that. Let's see. Most likely, it was the ozone layer opening a hole, prolonged exposure, dehydration, unpredicted exposure to the sun's rays, and atmosphere. Ozone can cook you alive. Well, Rothian, from what I have read, now this is me, I'm not an atmospheric specialist whatsoever. If somebody is an atmospheric specialist, I think the poles, north and south poles, have the opening in the ozone layer. I would dare say it's probably thinning out quite a bit, but they died in formation. I would dare say they dragged it in front of for the cameras to have a good look see. Monica, hello. I dare damn bet that they were lined up like that for the cameras. Bet the cows died from lack of water. AJK. Well, you got thousands of cattle, and obviously each one of those heads of cattle is worth. Wow. Anybody in the chat know how much a head of cattle is worth? Just one times about thousands. Somebody made a catastrophic problem. If they, should have had a lot of people out there managing those beasts for sure, without doubt. Some heads would roll for that kind of money. That's more or less just bars of gold running around on hooves. Shell F, hey, what's going on? And Joe's in the house, vaccination, I want to say that. Good one. Well, Eddie, you need to, AJK, $3,000 to $5,000 a head. Times that by thousands. Holy cow. $300 million worth of beef just right off the market. And then processed for whatever reason, obviously, I don't know whether they go in there and rip open the ground and then bury them for whatever reasons. I don't know. But that is neither here nor there. This show is about the Hadron Collider, CERN. And I read today in Ontario that they will be adding warning labels to packages of pork and beef soon. I really feel this is beginning of getting rid of meat. I have seen the Impossible meat, that whole thing, commercials ramp up like crazy. Has anybody seen that? Now, these test tube meat products, saying, hey, it's all vegetarian worthy stuff, and it is full of freaking chemicals. Might as well just go out and open up your radiator, if you're from certain areas of the country, and get your big swig of the green stuff out of the radiator. KJ, too many coincidences for all food supplies to be having catastrophes. Absolutely, without a doubt. There have been, I didn't look this up, but this is just me pulling out of the back of my memory. A lot of stories about farmers being paid to burn their fields of crop. I think that was it last year and this year too? Then gas prices going out the roof. I heard, I think, maybe running toward $10, average $10 a gallon by the end of summer for diesel. So who knows? HS Biden wants us to go to electric. That's what I heard. They want to go all green, and we're on our electricity backbone is still not future proof. It's not EMP proof at all. Some of it is, I dare say, but not. Farmers paid not to plant, according to HS. Yeah, I had read that too. And, now this is just conspiracy theory central. And if you can prove me wrong, great. If you can't, great. No big deal. Crystal says, I just saw Crystal. Where the hell? Why did that not pop up? Yes, burning crops and killing. Yep, absolutely. Joe, is there validity to deer wasting disease that's supposedly spreading in MTY and Wyoming and Idaho? So, everyone has their motivations, and it's money mostly. I can honestly tell you, money is, without a doubt, a lot of that drives. But when it comes to ego that's in control of money, money ain't no object. Ego is, without a doubt. So if there's an ego to be had, to be fed, to be torn down, money has no problem whatsoever. Money can be pissed away like it's nothing. I have seen that. Or I was in healthcare and I got it to a certain level, and I was in the higher levels, like mid-level, but I saw a lot of stuff that happened in healthcare and building of hospitals. Money was pissed away, especially when that green hospital thing came out. Build a green hospital. It looks good on the books, looks great to, hey, we got the first green hospital in Tennessee. Okay, how much that cost you? Quite a bit of fucking money is all I can tell you. I saw an entire representation of every piece of equipment that was going to be in a new hospital. Bought, paid for, put in representation, bought to a room that was at scale, down to the clothing, the furnishings, and everything, and put it in this big ass large room, just so that the heads of state could come by to look at, hey, this is Green Hospital. There for 24 hours. What did they do to it? Ditched it. Millions of dollars pissed away for a 24-hour look-see by heads of state. And I said, hey, why this? Well, it was part of the construction cost. Period. End of story. And that's how they, I was like, I was hot and heavy into trying to do the right thing, trying to pinch pennies to, get by as a, head of a sleep lab, then heads of sleep labs. And once I saw them piss away millions of dollars for nothing, I finally just lost it. I was like, you got to be kidding me. Now, for the folks that actually do the work at the bedside, wonderful folks. Wonderful. I know some folks that gotta love them. That's why they do the job. It is to help people. But you get up into that higher bracket where everybody is a number, everybody is a identification tag. That's about it. So I probably just probably got ghosted on YouTube for some reasons. I'm pretty sure I have, but who cares? Why not? Caught bluegill today. Hey, Bass, I saw you catch that 2-pounder earlier today on your TikTok feed out there in that boat. That was cool. Straight out, started his stream, Bass Mayhem. on TikTok. He was saying, well, I wonder if I'm going to catch anything. And by God, it wasn't like he just snapped his finger and he had a bass on on the end of his hook. I was like, buddy, you couldn't have planned that out if you tried. So, anyway, Large Hadron Collider, CERN. Let's get back to talking about CERN. We were talking about frickin' Instagram and this. Anyway, I honestly, it makes me sick what's going on in the country now. I'm about ready to say something that would probably get me kicked off of YouTube, and I'm trying to bite my tongue. But if you're over on my Discord, you probably saw me post something about it. I would dare say. Yeah. Anyway, I dare say what they did was they lined all these cattle up for the picture, more or less. And anybody that was in control of that for the farmhands would have seen these cattle in distress and said, hey, buddy, we need to get some freaking help in here. Get some, if this was actually dehydration problem right there, there should have been an emergency hotline saying, hey, buddy, satellite phone or something. We need to get this under control, period. So this right here, there's a forklift. That's how they got them all lined up in a pretty nice little, here, take that picture of me roll here. But, oh yeah, happy birthday to Bass. And his brother Truth. Forgot about that. I had that on my radar and I freaking forgot about it, man. Apologize. Happy birthday to both of you boys. Good friends. Great men. One and all. Great men. Absolutely. And they're freaking awesome at researching. If you want to research something, go to Bass of Truth. Say, hey, Bass, have you heard about this? More than likely, he's already researched it and come up with a theory long before you've even had a fucking clue about it. So, yeah, there you go. All right. That being said, I'm done with that. Berenstain. Some people remember Febreze. Oh, why not? Let's go down to this. Anybody remember Febreze spelled Febreze or with two E's? Skechers or Skechers with a T or without a T? Looney Tunes or with two O's? I remember J.C. Penney with the extra E in it. And one with without the E. That's interesting. And Mandela effect gets much creepier, though. Some people remember the Statue of Liberty being in a totally different location, being Ellis Island. It's actually on Liberty Island. I actually remember being on Ellis Island. Absolutely. Anybody remember that? Yep, I sure do. I remember that picture depiction right there. Google Maps Street View, there's a few specific areas of Liberty Island where the Statue of Liberty is just gone. Well, there you go. Now, that being said, Google Maps and Google stuff like that, they've got a lot of doctored photos in there. If you go in there and you find, there's a picture, I think over in Eastern Europe, of something standing in clouds, representation of angels looking down from the clouds. Obviously that's not real. So, yeah. Big munitions explosion at Black Tom, 50 believed dead, 21 hurt in a city hospital, damage 75,000. Oh no, actually that's probably 75 million. But anyway, there you go. And of course, can't talk about CERN, not talk about this. We've already talked about the whatever the hell that was, the opening ceremony. And you can't tell me that, if they're doing pure science, why in the hell would they do any kind of religious ceremony whatsoever? They should have just bought a bunch of gold shovels. If they want to do it on cheap, get a bunch of plastic shovels, paint them gold, throw their little shovel full of dirt into the wind. Who knows? Donnie Show says he's never been a Bernstein or Stain Bear, Care Bears. Yeah. I was never either or, but I do remember Bernstein. I remember Bernstein for sure. But there you go. Hey, we've been doing this for an hour and 10 minutes, believe it or not. Holy cow. For those folks out there, welcome. How many we got going on here that's popped in? Well, son of a gun. 45 watching me, and I still got that freaking cattle thing going on. Sorry about that. Let me get this. Is this up? Which one is that? I got you. I got this on a separate window. There you go. Apologize for that. I thought I was looking at something totally different. You're still looking at another freaking window. Apologize. Definitely. I do this for not a living, but yeah, I do this on a regular basis. I should have already knew about that. Care Bear Countdown. What is a Care Bear Countdown? Feather me, and I have no clue what a Care Bear Countdown is there, Barbie. But, you got the CERN opening, the Gothard tunnel opening ceremony that was totally 1,000% whatever religion poured, period. And then you got this CERN with 666 on it, and they kind of said, hey, this is what the particles they theorized looks like. Okay. But why pick 3 circles that look like 6 then? 3 sixes. Why not 7 of them? Now, unless they were going cheap on the paint or the ink. Why didn't the bears have first names? I have no clue. No clue there. The Callus, why haven't you called in, Callus? I know that you've got all kinds of theories about CERN. Without a doubt. Hell, the history you told me offline. Holy cow. 931-994-6917. Open lines. If you want to be a part of the show, go ahead. Chasing the truth on CERN. And then news on CERN. This is actually from the CERN. Home.CERN/news. Detectors of new era of Atlas. And we got, oh, wait a minute. We got somebody in here. Rothian.
Hello, hello.
Hey. What's going on, brother?
Not too much. Just got done eating some dinner.
What was on the menu tonight?
Steak and fries.
Damn, that sounds pretty good. Actually, I had, what was it? Pork and cheddar sandwich before I got online. So
Not bad. Not bad.
So what's your spin on CERN?
CERN sounds like a multi-tiered project of one part having nothing but scientific interest, another part going full into the paranormal and woo side of things, and another side just watching what happens.
All right. Well, hold on just a second. Let me pop. Let me get me forward here. I don't have this. Or I'm gonna go solo for just a second. If you see right behind this right here, see this electrical whatever storm behind here, and then behind me, the representations of what was occurring above CERN when they had the thing on operating, doing a scientific experiment. If you have been paying attention to me as I've been telling about my near-death experience with the Opal Gate, well, there's more than one gate. These things right here remind me of those gates. what was swirling around in them. So I know I kind of teased that at the beginning of the show. I don't want to remove myself from the stream, but yeah, that reminded me. Actually, Julie and I were talking about that earlier. My friend Julie, and we were talking about, yeah, that reminds me of that gate, and she's seen the gates too. So there you go.
Mm-hmm.
So, what is your theory on that? Are they opening gates, or are they creating little micro black holes? Are they actually coming forward with the science and saying, "Hey, this is exactly what we're doing. We're breaking apart helium hydrogen hydrogen atoms,
I
30 inches in length, I think,
I think
billions."
the public, not the public opinion, but the public knowledge that most of the actual baseline workers are doing, they're trying to find the particles that made the Big Bang. Because if you find those types of particles, you can do all kinds of revolutionary science there. But I also think that higher ups, they're trying to find a non-magic means of creating portals to other worlds. That's what I think they're really trying to do.
Becon posted Neil deGrasse YouTube. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to pull up that YouTube, but certainly if you feel you need to watch Neil deGrasse Tyson, which I think he is just one of those rock star scientists, personally. Does he have a brain? Yeah, he wouldn't have doctor in front of his name, but I know a lot of doctors are dumber than a box of rocks. Personally, I do. But there you go. Let's see. 422 has to be 4 equals 2 plus 2 as above, so below. Well, Barbie, I am without a doubt one of these people that see numbers constantly throughout the day. I wake up and see a variation of 2244, 2424, 4224, a variation of that every freaking damn day.
I have the number 20 that is constantly following me around. I see the number 20 all over the place.
My dad, my late father, had that too. I was talking to my sister about it, and she said, "I wish I remember that number that he kept saying, he keeps seeing every freaking day." And she caught wind of it when I was actually at, we were pulling into a Hardee's drive-through, and I said, "Oh, look, $2.24 on the price of gas," which that's not hit now. That's back in Trump era. But she said, "You too?" So, Dad was doing that too, man. So, Beacon says her absolute favorite numbers are 2, 4, and 8. Why? But okay, Rothian, I know that you are on the not French. That's the wrong word. I apologize. You are not a Christian, but you see it from a different point of view. Why that ceremony at all? Why a ceremony that depicts any kind of religious belief system?
I feel like they were told to do this because I believe on some level everyone has the idea that CERN is trying to change the way people think about the world around them. And I honestly feel like they were told that those rituals, that's kind of honestly what they are, were made to kind of celebrate the history of their understanding of the world back then compared to what they're trying to make it now. But the official reason, a lot of those rituals were a lot about. I'd have to review a lot of them. I'd have to review them myself, but some of them looked like they were portal, like rituals to help guide, to help point the way, or some other means of that, like trying to get rid of the deception. It was very odd the way they produce it, because again, I'd have to look it over again.
So a rudimentary spell casting.
Very rudimentary, very, very rudimentary. And I heard that the overall ceremonial practices were like over 3 hours long. and they were each different little things that were going on, and it was, yeah, just to me, it just seemed like very rudimentary rituals.
Well, I remember, seeing this pop up. Let's see, it was in second month of 2016 when this actually occurred, or first month. I can't remember. Second month or first month. And that was the year that I was recovering. So I was, my head was not here. It was not anywhere, actually. It was more or less, hello, I just lost the leg kind of mentality. So I remember seeing this and going, well, that is strange as hell. And of course, I was just consuming the near-death experience that I had about that month. The months that this actually occurred. So here's the weird thing. I'm going to go back to the Mandela effect. Before my near-death experience, I know Trump won the presidency. But before I went into that near-death experience, he didn't have a fucking chance. He was running, but he was nowhere near front runner whatsoever. He was just sort of like a gimmick. When I went in and lost my left leg, and when I woke up, I was like, "Where the hell did this happen?" So did I? I know that I was put in a different timeline, but by God. But how the hell that happened from one timeline to the next, I don't know. It's one of those head scratchers. Perhaps one of these days I'll ask God when I get back there and say, "Hey, why did you do that to me?"
I've had a lot of thought about how like interdimensional, or like how a lot of people talk about time travel is, and the way I can best describe it from my own thoughts and not, I guess I could call it research. But imagine it like this. It's not a river. It's not a tree. It's not anything. Think of it like a flip book. And each and every single page is animated with its own little part of that flip book. When you are time traveling, most of the time, I can imagine it being more like you're taking your page out of that flip book and putting it into another flip book at an earlier part of that book than the one that you were at. So you're more than likely dimension hopping to another dimension, another timeline, but you think it's yours.
Who was that guy? He was a polymath. I had him on last year. I can't remember his name right off the top of my head. On the beginning or the exit talk, after you do one of these shows, you talk for a little bit. Some talks are just over just like that. I'm gone. Goodbye. But this polymath, I can't remember that guy's name. It's right on the tip of my tongue. But I explained to him what I thought happened to me, why I explained I had this Mandela effect where a lot of stuff in my life is different that I remember versus what is occurring today. And he explained to me, he said, yes, God rearranged cards. He explained it as cards. Mm-hmm. He took this card and removed it. Oh, wait a minute. Sue, hey, what's going on?
Hello.
Hey, Shawn.
Hey. Sorry about that.
I had to jump in. I couldn't take it.
All right. Well, jump in and let us know what you've got going on. I was about ready to explain. I can't remember that guy's name. For the folks that have been a fan of mine for a little bit, who was that guy, that polymath I had on about a year ago? I'll have to look while you're talking there, Catalyst. But he explained it as God took these cards out, rearranged them so my body, from my near-death experience when I was in, I absolutely 1,000% believed I was dead, without a doubt. And I argued to come back, and God made it so that I had a body to come back to. And he said that he took out cards to make these this reality able to take me back in. That makes sense. Does that make sense?
It makes sense to me.
Okay. All right. So what is going on with you? Why can't you not call in? What is it that's burning at you?
Well, for some reason, it sounds like can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you fine. Yeah.
Okay. Because for a second there, it sounded like I had like a echo.
Hopefully it's
That
not.
was
It
weird.
may be just let me turn down my audio on this end. It may be my earphones bleeding over into the microphone. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, I know a lot of people don't know that as much about me as you do, Shawn. He spent quite a few hours talking and everything, but like I said, I spent a lifetime of high strangeness. It's my normal. I've had near death myself, and it set me on a path throughout the years of synchronicity. Like if there's something that doesn't set right with me, because I don't watch mainstream media anymore. I just don't. I shut that down after around 2017 because of all that was being said. Like I said, when I heard something didn't sit right with me, I'd deep dive. I would go to the furthest ends of anywhere. I don't care if it was to an old bookstore or wherever, whatever, through the inner zones, because whether I had lived through whatever they were putting out there or were distorting of the truth, I can't stand it. I never could. Around 2012, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was like before that, year 2000, right? 1999, the Y2K thing. Everybody around me was going absolute bonkers. They were hoarding gas. They were hoarding cash. They were hoarding MREs. You name it, they were stockpiling it to the tune of a very good friend of mine. I've mentioned him before when I called him Paulie, right? He was like an adopted father to me. He was family to me. And he was off the hook with it. He was buying rabbits and he was breeding rabbits and he was doing all this crap. And I'm like, why is everybody freaking out so bad? He's like, the Y2K, the reset. I'm like, listen, be very carefully. I cannot explain it to you, but I am telling you, it's total BS. It's total BS. And he goes, how can you say that when you're not, in the upper echelons of in the know? I said, all I can tell you is I know. It's just an absolute knowing. I'm not. I wasn't calling it a farce, right? Because could it be possible? Sure. Everything I've ever seen and experienced, anything's possible. But that just didn't sit well with me. And jumping onto the 2012 December something or other for the end of the Mayan calendar, when I heard that, it was again, okay, synchronicity. Why does this not sit well with me? Number one, you as a parent, anyone out there with children, right? And you love your children. There's no way in hell or earth, heaven or earth, you would send your children out into the wilderness, just dump them off as toddlers, okay? Knowing what's out there, wild animals, I don't care what kind of wild animals we got. You wouldn't leave them in the middle of BFE and walk away, turn your back, never to give it another thought, right? Well, God wouldn't do that to you either. That's just how I see it. And so, like I said, synchronicity started to really kick in back then. So I'm like, okay, I know something is making me think this way. So I started walking into video movie rental places and stuff like that. And I'm looking at all these movies that they were out, tidal waves and massive tsunamis and earthquakes and super twisters and you name it across the board.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, and I looked at that and went, well, there's my answer. There's my answer staring me in the face. That's just not going to happen. And it came and it went. And I also started thinking, back then, I'm like, well, listen, I was telling myself, right, listen, how many times in the past have you heard other, different individuals speak of revelations and end times and all these Armageddon? And I remember the first time I seen a movie called Armageddon, it's going way back. And I thought, now that sounds like a term that doesn't mean quote unquote end of the world. So, it's like another thing, synchronicity.
Mm-hmm.
Did a little bit of homework, a little bit of looking into. And I remember I worked for some Greeks back in Michigan that literally came from Greece. And I just, got a question. Because you blah, 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 the word Armageddon. They go, yeah, that's Greek for the veil shall be lifted. I said, okay, thank you very much. And I never thought another word of it. And then also around 2012, 2010, 28, 2008 and forward, all these different Armageddons. And I try to tell people without pushing my own beliefs or whatever you want to call it on anybody else. I don't do that. I don't believe in that. I'll say, that is a Greek word for the veil shall be lifted. Do you understand? Well, how would that possibly be the veil shall be lifted? I said, okay, because everybody thinks of God differently, right? God, creator, the one creator, the great spirit, law of one, you know what I mean? And you can go just about any religion there ever was or ever could be, and everyone holds a term meaning the same thing, but in their own language, right? Their own history. That's how they adopt the word, but it all really means the same thing, God, right? So I try to put that out there, and some people, say what they want. It's okay. I'm good with it. I've been called all kinds of things. But the CERN thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
It has been, I want to say, 2017 or 2018. In certain circles, I heard the term CERN, and I'm like, why does that, light a bulb? And then I used to watch some people on YouTube. They are no longer on YouTube. They got bounced right off of it. And they started, it's funny because they started talking about it all of a sudden. And they have friends that started to deep dive and look into it. So they put little notes and, little information. And then I would jump on the internet myself and start looking into it. And then there was one day about a couple years ago, I'm like, why does this CERN thing keep nagging at me and nagging at me and nagging at me? Mm-hmm. So I went ahead and I went on to CERN's website. And CERN is just as let's see if I can't not hack this word, compartmentalized, right? Different departments working for the same company, right?
Mm-hmm.
The same employer in different sections working on specific whatever projects, right? But they never know exactly what it is they're working on in total, right? Whether it's for the greater good or otherwise. They're paid very well to not ask questions. They're like, well, I'm doing this. And, very few have ever, started putting two and two together. And this CERN, to me, I'm not saying it, I'm not, leaning toward the good, okay? Personally, this is me personally. I don't see it as a good thing. I don't get the warm and fuzzy from these folks at all. I'm not talking as a whole, right? Their employees right on down to the janitors. I'm talking those in charge of these projects. Any more than I would the term I will not bring out loud, but I had typed in earlier in chat. For good reason. But it's like, I don't want to say they're playing God. I want to say they're playing Russian roulette. I'm not saying what they're going to do is going to bring about, quote unquote, Armageddon, right? And destroy this earth and destroy mankind. I deep down in every cell of my body and in the depths of my soul just have this knowing that God, right, the infinite creator, God, source, whatever you want to call him, would, or her, if you think it's a her, right, or both, would never, ever allow such a thing. I believe we are all whole and part of God. We are all connected, whether we like it or not, and we are connected to everything here on Earth. Some people call it Earth, some people call it Gaia, whatever, it don't matter. Everything is connected. And somewhere in the 80s, because I'm, started thinking back, I'm thinking, well, back then, I started noticing things ramping up personally for me, right? These little things that I noticed right off where people around me seemed to be oblivious to. And if I brought it up to certain, people that are supposed to love you and care and believe you and trust you, look at me like I had 3 heads and whatever. So I spent many decades keeping a lot of stuff to myself just because, I don't want to look like the odd man out, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
But the truth is, we are all connected, and all this bad news, we'll call it bad news, right? This stuff we see and it breaks our heart. This stuff we see and it angers us, right? It brings these emotions we thought maybe some of us never thought we ever had, or we go, oh my gosh, look at what they're doing now. They've been doing this for generations, my friend. This has been going on for generations. Armageddon is the veil shall be lifted, right? So we're merging through the universe as a whole on this planet as a human being, right? We're all spiritual beings having the human experience, if you will. Okay? So as each individual shines its light, right, of knowledge, right? Like I said, we're all a grid, we're all interconnected. The more light we shine individually and collectively, the more and more what some folks call other people, the normies, are waking up and they're noticing things. And the more and more that happens, if people paid close attention over the last 2.5 years, it ain't just in this country. It's everywhere around the world. Everywhere around the world. People have had it. People want to live their life peacefully, happily, right?
Mm-hmm.
To how they want without being hurt or bullied by others, and vice versa. And it's like the whole world of people, there's no barriers, right? There's no land, there's no sea, there's no distant barriers anymore because of the internet, right? And in all these different medias. And then over the last handful of years, they've really started to suppress information coming from certain individuals. And I'm sure we all know somebody that has. And I'll be the first one to tell you, I've been bounced off of almost damn near every platform of social media except this one. This one I decided to bite my lips off and bite my tongue and keep a lot of things to myself because I've seen what had happened to friends of mine through the last several years. And I thought, if I do this, then how am I going to reach other people in a way that's acceptable, right?
Mm-hmm.
Without upsetting the balance or, upsetting the quote unquote apple cart. I tell you flat out, my friend, there is no question, absolutely no question, that there is so much more going on that we are completely unaware of, because it's a whole lot of, oh, look over here, not over here, over here, not over here. So if something doesn't set with you, any one of you listening, if something does not set with you and you can't quite put your finger on it, trust yourself. There's a reason. And feel free, absolutely feel free to look into it yourself. You might be surprised what you come across,
Yeah.
Because I don't know everybody in here personally at all, but I can tell you this much. I really do care.
Mm.
I really, really do care.
Yeah, one thing I do want to put that further discussion with about when you were talking about the meaning for Armageddon or apocalypse, as Johnny Cho put into the chat meeting, Revelation Disclosure, the lifting of the veil. That event is something that so many different people on the paranormal side of things want to have happen. There are some that want to keep the status quo of this veiled world, but there are those like me. There are those like the indigo children, the otherkin, the real otherkin, not the ones that just say they are something else in spirit, but are no. But there are some out there that do not want to have to live in a veiled world because because we have this innate understanding that this world does not operate the same way the rest of creation does. This world is such a strange thing that we're all living in that we just want the veil to just go away so we can live life the way it's meant to be lived and the way the rest of all of creation operates. So for us,
You nailed it on the head when you said innate.
mhm.
That's the exact right word, my friend. Boom. Innate.
Mm.
It's knowing without having to know, you know? It's you know.
And so,
Beautifully put.
and so for us, when we hear, when we hear that thing of the veil shall be lifted, for us, it's not this foreboding feeling of fear or dread. It's for us, it's like, oh, finally. It's like we've been waiting at the DMV for 3 hours, and we're just now hearing that our number is about to be called for the whatever it is.
Yes. Good analogy, exactly.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
wow.
what I want to add in.
So,
No, that was a beautiful point.
what do you think is the end goal, Sue, for CERN? What is their overall?
I don't think
I would say there's a
overall.
whole lot.
I think they're not. I don't think they're a quote unquote corporation all into themselves. With their own agenda, so to speak. I just get this overwhelming knowing that they're quote unquote, we used to use the term, they're all in bed together. They may have different outcomes they want, some more sinister than others, but make no mistake, they're not ignorant to each other, right? They're all on the same page. And that's why I personally feel this quote unquote great awakening. I've heard that term used so many times in so many ways, but it is. It's a great awakening. More and more and more and more and more people across the globe are waking up to the shenanigans, not only from other countries, but in their own, right down to their own locality. And
well, here's an analogy for you. I look at, from the perspective of where I was in healthcare and ran sleep labs, multiple ones. I learned that, sleep labs was a necessary evil for, it was supposedly a money losing venture that they just absorbed because it looked good on paper. And, the lion's share of all their attention went to heart disease. Open heart surgery, a whole lot of surgeries, period. And that was their, their bread and butter, how a particular hospital makes money. The rest of the little ancillary stuff, they could give a rat's ass about, other than it looks good on paper. And when they got up for review to say, hey, we want to be a non-for-profit entity, so we have this little tax write-off, whatever that equates to. That was it.
Right.
That's what they focused on. That's where the money come from. That's why you can walk into a big ass freaking hospital and they have this robust heart disease, heart center stuff that is, decked out. And you go into this little sleep lab.
Like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're absolutely right, because there's a hospital not that many miles down the road from me that was just this little old homegrown little hospital when I first moved here for years, for over a decade and a half.
Yeah.
And then it got getting bought out, right, by different names change.
Oh, yeah.
Different management, under new management, and then boom, all of a sudden they got this massive wing and it's nothing but heart. Nothing but we're number one in the heart. So does Tampa, and I can just go on forever. They're all doing the same thing.
Use that mentality for CERN. What is it that they're using as their front runner? Hey, we're doing this special science to help mankind
for the greater good.
For the greater, the greater good. Exactly. Kind of stuff. What is their back? What is it they're actually trying to do? I think
they're trying to punch a hole. You can say portal, you can say wormhole, right? To me, it's the same thing, right? It's the same thing, different terminology. The same thing. I really, I just really do. From what I've researched, and even to the point of getting their newsletter. I haven't looked at that in a while, but I would literally get emailed their newsletter. Different things going on and what's new at CERN and blah, blah, blah. And it's bottom line, a dog and pony show for what's really going on. I know all about dog and pony shows, all about bureaucracy. I've had my fill of that crap. No, thank you. No, thank you. And when you hadn't seen enough of it, right, you can see it coming. But I feel like they're trying to punch a hole in an aspect of, to be it pull something through in one way, shape, form, or another for, well, here's my words. This is my own personal words flying out my mouth. That's how I see it. Control and manipulation. Period.
Yeah. Well, that's, I look at it from an ego standpoint. Money looks, sounds like it makes the world go around. Screw that. That ain't it. It's ego. If ego's got control of the purse strings, you can screw the idea of, hey, we're going to save money doing this project. If it is to improve upon one's ego, period, money is no object. Fuck that shit. They'll just keep on going until the purse strings are let loose and the purse is cut up and say, okay, I got my ego back. How much did it cost me? They don't care. They honestly do not care. So spending tens of billions, hundreds of billions of dollars for punching a hole through whatever barrier, I don't see any way that they can't do that. It's just a freaking number. That's it.
Yeah. Well, between them and, like I said, the unmentionable ABCs, I get a funny feeling that they've already done so to some varied degree. And, that's why I stopped watching, quote unquote, the mainstream anything anymore. Because I can't, it's like nails on a chalkboard 1,000-fold for me. I can't take it. It literally makes me physically sick to even hear it if I'm, be it in a store or even in friggin' hospital emergency rooms where I've spent plenty of time seemingly lately. It's just, I can't take it. I can't. It's like something's literally making me physically sick. And I have to, quote unquote, exit the building, or I have to kind of take my mind somewhere else. If I have to be present. It literally physically affects me. It's just like big crowds anymore. I was never one for big crowds anyway, but I used to go to them when I was in my teens, to go to those, rock concerts. Oh, geez, woo-hoo, and then I'd get there and I'd feel like I was literally going to hyperventilate. The anxiety was
crazy.
Almost uncontrollable. Yeah, I had to get away from there. I can't do that. I can't.
Well,
it's like I started absorbing other, somebody else's emotions. Like all of a sudden I'm like in a really great mood, and then somebody gets too close to me, and all of a sudden I feel angry for no reason. And it's like, whoa, I know that ain't me.
You picked up on their emotion. Yeah. I grew up as a introvert. I was a severe introvert. I'm kind of, other than this radio show podcast, and if you meet me, I'm probably going to act like an introvert. But I can get motivated to be an extrovert for a moment, a few moments, and it wears the living daylights out of me. If I remember getting up in front of a crowd of like 400 people and start talking about science, medical science. I was worn the shit out, man.
It's like you could sleep for 1,000 years.
Yeah. I could talk about it all damn day long to a group of 10 people. Don't bother me a bit. I don't get in front of that many people and you see all those, I guess pick up on their emotions. That was the big thing. Yeah.
It's like it becomes your own. I mean, it took me a long, long time probably into my 30s before I kind of put two and two together. You know, where it'd be like, I'd be having a really good day, you know, all kinds of, I was always a happy-go-lucky person.
Oh, yeah.
And then I could be near one person and really not know what's going on in their life or their mind or whatever they were dealing with. And all of a sudden I'd start feeling slightly anxious, and all of a sudden I'd start feeling like I was having a bad day, or I was angry, or, you know, just these weird things. And it took me a long time to understand that that's not my emotion I'm getting. That's not me, you know? And then I'd start kind of testing the waters, right? I'd literally test the waters and get around a group of friends, and, you know, I hadn't talked to in a while, and then get near them, and they wouldn't really be talking about what was going on, per se, or what kind of mood they were in. And all of a sudden I'd start feeling a certain way, and then I'd back away and I'd go, everything all right? And all of a sudden, bleh, they'd start, you know, puking out whatever. And then it was like, that was my light bulb moment.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that was my light bulb moment. I don't know what that is. I can't explain it. I don't put a term to it. It's just the way it is.
Wow. So, end all be all is is it a nefarious group, this CERN organization over in Europe, or do they have really nefarious kind of crap going on?
I would think nefarious association.
Well, somebody's
compartmentalized.
Yeah, somebody, compartmentalized. The left hand don't know what the right hand's doing. You know, like building the atom bomb over in East Tennessee.
Exactly.
They didn't know what the hell they were doing.
No, they thought they were doing something for the greater good. You know, okay, here's, you know, it's just like the last job I had. Okay, here, this is your project, right? Y'all, this is what you're building. This is part of, you don't know, right? This is what you're going to build, right? This is your thing. This is your, you know, your project. You put all this assembly together, and then it's got to go to this department.
Right.
And that's it. And then you start rising up a little bit. And then once you move to another department, because you got, you know, you went up onto the next side of the food chain. So you're working in a different department and you're being trained on something else. Then all of a sudden where you were comes to you, and then you start to get a bigger, broader picture. You know, it really doesn't take rocket science. You know, you don't have to have this, what people like call this genius brain. You just be self-aware, you know, just be a little more aware. And some people probably knock their socks off.
Well,
I believe everybody has that ability.
Look at it from a spreadsheet kind of deal. I know some people that can look at a spreadsheet and glean the least bit of information that, you know, you can look at, stare at those damn numbers all damn day, and they come away with bukus of information just looking at a spreadsheet for half a second. You know, okay, you know. So if they've got points of data that they're getting off of each individual whatever experiment they've got going on in CERN, which, you know, it may be legit, and we're trying to do the better good and figure out how we, you know, answer the leftover questions that were not answered by Einstein's theory of relativity or whatever they're, you know, chasing after. What if there is this one scientist or whoever is paying for this that's, you know, bought into this? So yeah, I'll throw $1 million at you, or $1 billion, or whatever.
Right.
For I want to know this answer here. I don't care what the hell the question is that they're trying to answer. As long as it's designed around allowing all these scientists to come together, they can go say, well, I want to research why it takes 3 different colors for an CRT screen to produce every color in the rainbow. You know, red, green, and blue. You know.
Right.
You know, focus on that and say, okay, why does it take blue to do its part? Why does it take, I want whatever question that I want answered, whatever product I want to get out of it. You know, design whatever experiments around it, but the central answer I need to answer this question. So I think that's probably what they're doing right now, or a goal, not a question. I want to produce this goal. If I'm going to put in $1 billion, I want this goal to be completed.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like I said, the last job I had, they would take on clientele by a particular client coming to my bosses, or AKA the owner of said company, and say, get your engineers on this project, right? And come up with this, whatever this product may be.
All right.
To do whatever. And then the engineers would put their heads together and with their knowledge collectively and separately would come up with a way to make it, and then they put it out onto the production floor. We build it and we make demos of it, right? That we would, and everything's on the down low. That's proprietary information, goes nowhere. And then we send that to the client with the information of what it cost us, but not our proprietary information, right? You see, and we give them a price tag, and then of course they all go to other companies for the same damn thing, and whoever they like the product durability, whatever it is they're looking for, they're getting exactly what they want, right?
All right.
Primo, best price, boom, shakalaka. That company ends up with it.
Yeah.
And we may, quote unquote, not necessarily know what the F it's actually going to.
Oh, thanks, Rothian, for being in the stream for a little bit. Appreciate it. Thank you, Dogman Watcher, for the tip to my PayPal. Appreciate that greatly. I'll add that to whatever it costs me to produce this show on a monthly basis. Appreciate that greatly. So, let's see. Holy cow, we've been doing this for 2 hours. It just feels like I just started this a minute ago. For the folks in the chat, since we're asking for chat, I want to answer this. Get you to answer this one question: is CERN good, bad, or indifferent to the world? Are they trying to do the good for the world? Type 1 in the chat. 2, they're trying to do something that is nefarious or bad. Type 2 in the chat. 3, have no clue. See what their question answer is for that. So, and let's see. Dear Slayers liked my Chasing the Truth link over on Twitter. Appreciate that, Dear Slayer. Rick says 2 does paranormal. 2 for Sue. So far, 2's all across the board. AJK 1 and 2 Chicka. Okay. 2. Let's see. Dark Woods will probably put a 5 in there, I would say. That's his usual going to answer anytime I ask for a number. 1 and 2. 2's Primal Cry. And Bass Mayhem Road to Hell is paved with good intentions. 3, Donnie Cho. I kind of figured Donnie Cho would hit a 3 on there. And Roger Davis. Roger G. Davis is a 2. So a 1 and a 2, and all the rest are 2s. Or 1 and a 3 for the number. 3 for Sandra. No clue. I personally think that there are probably a mixture of all 3 from the perspective of, are there scientists that believe that they're doing great science? Yeah. But I think they are manipulated to the point where they're going to, like compartmentalize, like Sue has been trying to describe here. They're coming up with individual science experiments to say, well, we got this data, add this to this equation that is, compartmentalized away from everybody else. Say, hey, answer this question. Great. We'll answer that question. And Rothian says 3 here. That's cool. Majority is saying 2, so we'll go with 2, that it's nefarious, evil intent. But I think the scientists, they're the videos I've seen on CERN's website. They love all the conspiracy theories out there, and one of them actually was quoted to say, "Hey, my next favorite theory is the next one that conspiracy theory is the next one that comes out." Which, fine and dandy. But I think that their solutions that they're coming up with, the pinpoints of data, are going into another project, I would say. And I just look at it from that perspective. My perspective of the world and how business is done is without a doubt been skewed. I went in with bright-eyed, bush-tailed, I'm going to change the world with Sleep Lab and make everybody better, and that was my intent. But everything that I saw from the perspective of above me, that intent wasn't there. That intent was, we're going to make some money off of these people. Screw, go for the pillars of experience or whatever. What was that? The pillars of business, I believe that's what they called it. Anytime there was a bad question that popped up or bad whatever they reviewed, say, hey, this isn't in our pillars, fire this guy or fire this person to protect the higher ups. I've only seen one CEO been fired, and that was way back when I first was a little respiratory snot-nosed guy. And he got fired because he got caught. He got caught with his fingers in the till. Unfortunately. Well, Sue,
Yes.
I guess from a perspective of everybody in chat, for the exception of about 4 people, they all answer to nefarious for CERN, which I'm sure there's a lot of people who work at CERN and absolutely, without a doubt, believe they're probably doing some good stuff. But
I do too.
I believe.
Like I said, I feel it's a nefarious affiliation.
Well, the money comes
not everybody dares.
Yeah, the money comes from some place, which I did not read where all that money comes from. I read the billions of dollars, the zeros. Yeah, I read that part, but those zeros didn't have where did they originate from.
A favorite term is anonymous donor.
Oh yeah, I think Bass and I said every time the government wants to hide something, they'll put it behind a private entity, and then you can screw any kind of what is it they want, disclosure, screw disclosure, or whatever it is. Once it gets behind that privatized whatever, screw that. It's private. You don't get to see that.
I call it manipulated disclosure. It's manipulated.
Oh yeah. Well, folks, how did you like this CERN thing? I think we went all over to mapping into some stuff, which I kind of was thinking a lot of stuff about the gas prices and stuff because I wore this freaking hat right here.
I think it's all relative.
Yeah, I think it is. It's all relative in the grand scale, without a deal. Joshua Marshall. Joshua, what's going on, brother? Good to see you. So, what I'll probably do, thanks to Holly for suggesting this. I kind of threw this together within just a matter of hours, which she picked a good topic that, is one of my rabbit holes that I jumped down into. And I apologize for the folks that come in here and say, well, hell, he didn't really know what he was talking about. Okay. Great if you thought that. Great if you enjoyed it. I think we had a pretty good conversation that was brewing up, and it went down a whole lot of different offshoots. And hold on just a second. Let's see. Oh, Darlene, thank you for the be kind. Thank you for the tip over on PayPal. That definitely what I made. The tips tonight paid for my internet service for next month. Appreciate that. Awesome. It will definitely be going toward that without a doubt. And if anybody says, hey, why is he accepting this money? Well, this is, ain't no. I'm not trying to make this a hobby. It looks like it's a hobby to a certain point of view, but this ain't for free. You can't do this for free. And yeah, it took a few hours. Actually, it took a lot more than a few hours. I already went down this CERN rabbit hole a few times, and it was like, yeah, what else is out there? I already knew that CERN re-upped their thing back in, I think it was May, after a 3-year hiatus to upgrade or whatever. Maybe it was the questions that they were prepping to answer for the compartmentalized to figure out and fill it in. Has anybody seen any difference in their reality in the past 3 months?
In the reality.
10 TV said, I did it for free for over 2 years. Yeah, that's cool. It's interesting to say that, but it ain't free to actually produce it. You get out there, if you want to, the cool thing about it is to help the show out, you can hit that thumbs up and share it out and get more people over here to watch it or watch me or whatever. If it sounds like something you want to do, go for it. That's free to hit that like button and subscribe all damn day long. That's free. Unless you hit the button just the right way and break your finger, which I actually know a guy that swung a golf club and broke his ankle swinging the golf club.
Oh, wow.
Just by the twist. And it was a spiral fracture.
Oof. Oof.
But yeah, I was just had not started. I was in my 3rd respiratory job, but within about 2 years. And yeah, another respiratory therapist, her husband, called her and said, honey, I just was out golfing. Yeah, how was the golf trip? I broke my ankle. How the hell did you break your ankle? Swinging a golf club. Would the golf club hit you in the ankle? No, it was just a twisting motion. Just the right stress to pop it. The right torsion for the ankle. Boop. Yeah, that was that was interesting. Well, that can happen. Didn't think it could happen like that, but yeah, there you go. That's what this chasing the truth is all about. We chase truths on something that, hey, it may not pan out to be true, but we're going to figure out if it is or not. Sometimes it could be true for a lot of folks, and then for a handful of folks, it's absolutely not true. But that's the way it is. That's the exact motion you generate through a correct swing. Yep, that little torque right there to get that golf swing just right so you can smack it a few hundred yards down the highway. But yeah, golf and me, I never really picked up the habit of golf. I tried to because I had a whole lot of friends that did, and I was like, well, and that's where I was like, I was more in depth in drinking beer than actually golfing. Yeah, I could get into the drinking beer, and that's one of the reasons why I don't have a left leg. But that's another long story that end of the show not going to go down. But Sue, I appreciate you being on the call. And
thank you.
God bless you for losing your friend. You have been in my prayers. So
I appreciate that.
Anyway, folks, one of the things that I want to do is here in just a minute, I'll end with the closing prayer. I have told in the last couple of shows that I'm going to do a prayer chain. I don't know if you want to call it a prayer chain or if you want to call it whatever. It is a prayer chain, more or less. And I will be posting that for the folks over on Facebook and over on Twitter. I'm going to be posting in my community tab on YouTube for Chasing Truth Shawn Jew. I will be posting, whenever somebody comes say, hey, I need to have a prayer said. And if they say it's okay to, post it on my community chat tab, which obviously there's some people who may not want that. But the power of prayer is very precious and very strong when more than one person is praying for it. That's all I can tell you. So God bless y'all for sure. Without a doubt, I wouldn't be here without you. And let's do a real quick, not quick, do a closing prayer. And I've actually said this prayer 3 times today for 3 different people. So, Lord Jesus Christ, in thy love and mercy, establish a perimeter of protection around all of us and all our loved ones, those who pray for us and their loved ones. May the holy angels guard us and all our possessions, establishing a perimeter of protection around us, rendering us immune from any kind of demonic influence. I ask that no demonic bondage, door, demonic entity, portal, astral projection, or disembodied spirit may enter the space of 100 yards in all directions of us. Ask that any demons within the vicinity or any should try to enter here be rendered deaf, dumb, and blind. That thou would strip them of all weapons, power, armor, illusions, and authority. That thou would bind, rebuke, and disable them from communicating or interacting with each other in any way. Remove them, sending them directly to the foot of thy cross, Son of the Most High. I ask this in thy glorious and most holy name. Please, dear God, bless those that are hurting mind, body, and spirit, that have demons that are attacking them. Bind them and send them to the foot of thy cross. Help protect those that are in need of protection. Help those that are in need financially, spiritually, physically, that are hurting. I know several people that are out there hurting all 3 ways. In Jesus Christ's name, amen. Holy cow, thank you, Sue, for that. I appreciate if you want to stay on for just a little bit, I'll get off the air and we'll talk for a little bit. But, folks, this Friday, Southern Supernatural, home, just look at me pop this up. Let me get this gentleman's name right. Where is he? Costa McCris is going to be our guest for Southern Supernatural this Friday. He is going to share his visions of the future, 2020 and beyond. And we're going to be talking about the golden age with him. You know, it's going to be the metaphysical side of stuff. And we're going to be talking UFOs and aliens. So I think he sees the same future that I did, but my interpretation and his interpretation is probably going to be a little bit different. So I think we're all heading for no offense to anybody, but we are heading for a golden age. But how we get there versus some of the people that I've talked to in the past is going to be different. I do. In the end, we're going to have a golden age without doubt. But how we get there from here to there is going to be a whole lot different. And maybe I'll do a live stream over that, what I have seen in the future, what I have been shown in the future. But we'll talk about that at a later date. But thank you for being a part of the show. God bless each and every one of you. Let's see. Well, heck, let's just go ahead and give thanks to those folks that have thought enough about listening to this old goofy Southern guy for just half a second. Danielle, there you are. Danielle Diva, my co-host. Donnie Cho. Crystal. Sue. Another Sue. I got 2 Sues in my life, looks like. Aaron. Silent Rain. Rothian. Dark Woods, Be Kind. Paper Chaser, Chica. Primal Cry, Casual Conversations with GNA. Hey, if you want to follow a good channel on YouTube, Casual Conversations with GNA, follow those ladies. They got some good stuff going on over there. Trina, Just Curious. Sandra. Let's see. Barbie. Thanks for being part of the show. Putting your 2 cents in the chat helps out quite a bit, without a doubt. And who else? Be Kind. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Be Kind, for that donation, tip, whatever. 10 TV. Thank you for being here. And if you want to reach out to me, the number that is scrolling by right here, right now, 931-994-6917. Reach me after the fact. It may not be in the middle of the night. I've had a couple who called me at 3 o'clock in the morning after I said that. In the last 2 weeks, after I said, hey, man, don't call me at 3 o'clock in the morning. I ain't going to answer you. Well, you find out I ain't going to answer you after a while. And God bless whoever it is I blocked calling me over the course of the last few days. Get that one ring in. I don't know what it is with frickin' Skype. I thought once I blocked them, It popped up one ring and then blocked. And I'm like, okay. Somebody called me 5 times within 10 minutes. I'm like, well, obviously I blocked them for a reason. There's the reason. Didn't want to hear from them. So, holy cow. You need to take a Xanax, whoever that was. That's all I can tell you. Anyway, you can reach out to me at Shawn G, SHAWNG at IamDarkWaters.com. Friday at 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, 9 Central, and 7 o'clock over on the Pacific left coast. So I have no clue what time it is in the down under. But whatever time Sue gets up or goes to bed. Wait a minute, she's just getting up, I think. Or just had gotten up a few hours ago. But holy cow. Lord have mercy, children. Here's my last rant. And there is a school system that has bought a litter box for somebody that identifies as a cat. A school system. I'm sorry, but that just blows the living crap out of my mind. 1:15 p.m. here. So probably noon time. Yeah, noon. Over, it just depends on what part of Australia you're in. So, yeah, I know the school system bought a litter box for a student that, for whatever reason. Don't know what got into that school system, but hey, whatever that is, I disagree with you. And if I had children, that would be one quick reason for me homeschooling. End of story. You know, discern whatever you think about it. It is that I just said, but a litter box in the school system for a student, not a cat, a student. But anyway, God bless y'all, and keep it between the mayonnaise and the mustard. So there you go. And folks, wherever you are, I hope that you have a lovely and a blessed evening. I'll see you Friday.